Okay, then. WrestleMania. In this long weekend of wrestling with almost several, I don't know how many wrestling shows going on right now. Obviously, we get to the biggest one, and this is only night one of WrestleMania 40. So, with so much stuff going on right now, got to get in night one, Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, at the Lincoln Field Center, if I'm saying that right, where the Philadelphia Eagles play. So, yeah, Philly, WrestleMania 40. Let's do this thing. First off, let everybody introduce themselves. Obviously, this is the biggest show of the year, so go right ahead.
Yo, Black Shaggy in the building. You know, we out here as always. This might be my heel turn on this podcast. I don't know, because I got some thoughts, but yeah, I'm here. Let's get it.
Man, straight face 40. Let's go.
Oh shit, yo, it's just J Rod. What's happening, y'all? What's good?
Yes, WrestleMania 40, the biggest show of the year. Obviously, a lot is going on, and we're only into night one, and we got a pretty stacked card going on this show. So let's get right into it. We did kick it off, obviously, you know, showing off the new stage. Any thoughts on the stage, just to say first?
It's cool.
I felt like they played it safe. You know, I was telling my cousin that yesterday, and I saw some amazing stages. You know, in the past like at least 7 years,
This
they
last
played
year.
it super. Yeah, they played it super safe. You know what I'm saying? They just put the XL right there. It looked like a better Raw try. A better Raw stage. You know, it really did look all that hot.
Thought we were gonna get like a giant bell or something from all the branding, but like nah.
Yeah.
Right. We had the big
Yeah, you're right.
in our face the whole time. Why not? But yeah, they played it safe to me.
Yeah, it was okay. It just kind of looked like something that you would create in 2K, to be honest. It wasn't
Yeah, it looked like something.
anything like a lot of past WrestleMania stages. Like,
It was like
I would
31,
have
just a
thought,
big screen.
What you say?
yeah, just a big screen or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, it wasn't. I didn't think it was really that impressive. It was just a big XL there. That was kind of it. But yeah, this was like a upgraded Raw stage. Like I agree. I thought I would expect it like the Liberty Bell or something like that. But no, it was just that. But
But you know what?
obviously,
This is not to cut you off, but the stage being underwhelming is very much the theme of this WrestleMania for me. So it's very on brand once we get into it.
yeah, so gonna be a lot to say. Obviously they start off with a video package, with Meek Mill, narrating it. Basically just hyping up all the matches later on the night. I still think it's kind of, convenient they got Meek Mill, and then everybody in the comments just wants to bring up Diddy most of the time with him. So it's still kind of hilarious. So he better be lucky he's not looking for him.
Well, before even
But
that though, they had a new signature. Which I think about that, the freaking Marvel Galaxy, whatever they were doing with the Then Now Forever. Y'all see that?
No, I didn't get to see it. When I turned to it, could me thinking it, I ain't think it was gonna start at 6. I don't know what I was thinking. I don't know, So when I turned to it in the middle of big, whole talking. So when everybody was talking about it, I was like, man, hold on, it was a new graphic. Damn, I wanted to see it. I ain't gonna need a lot to you, but I ain't get to see it though.
I ended up
Yeah,
just
it's
seeing
got
it.
Triple H talking and everything.
Yeah, I ended up just seeing it on Instagram. Like, it was okay. The then, now, forever, together, forever, however it goes. I didn't think it was bad. It was pretty good. So I saw they got the little new intro thing. I saw it online. I thought it was okay. It was good.
If y'all,
Yeah,
if y'all couldn't
Simone.
tell, they're really trying to push that new era shit. So you know,
Yeah, they trying, but it's still kind. I'm gonna get into that in a second because I still think it's just kind of funny how they've been doing. Because me and Gerard talked a lot about this whole era thing yesterday. I'm gonna get to that in a second. But they did have Coco Jones basically start off singing the national anthem, and then we kicked it off with Triple H. Triple H just basically welcomed everybody to WrestleMania and whatnot. And, you know, once again, everybody wants to bring up the era, which I think is funny online when people said this is the Attitude Era 2.0, which I don't really believe that. I don't know
no,
really.
I'm not old enough to have been there for the birth of the Attitude Era. But did they just say when they switched over to Attitude? I guess did they say this is now the Attitude Era? Because they're very much pushing that on commentary and stuff, and it's just weird to me that they're saying that.
Well,
See,
when the I will say this, like the Attitude Era started, you know, it did start off with you know, Vince basically talking about, you know, we moved past the blase of the, you know, take your vitamins and, you know, say your prayers, and we're moving into a new thing. Like it's like the video's online, but we're moving into something different now. Like with Attitude, he kept talking about. That's what kind of really ushered
it was
in the
like
Attitude Era.
it was like a slow start though. It was like it wasn't really like in your face about it. Like, oh, it's a whole new era. It was like slowly, like you start seeing new things. Like, hold on, wait, they started doing this. When they started doing this, it's like it wasn't in your face. Like, hey, it's a new era. It was like, oh, I see what they doing, and the audience just followed along with it. Like, oh, okay, then, shit, you know. They about to
Yeah,
start showing blood, boy. All right, fuck it. You know.
Right, that's why I was asking because they're very blatant with it. On Michael Cole's like, we're in the Triple H era. I'm like, all right, like y'all don't have to beat me over the head with it. Like we get it.
I think like they put it in your face. Like if you don't get it, I don't know how you not get it. They're like, like I get it. Okay, just do y'all thing, man. You
Hmm.
know.
I think what they're trying to do is the same thing that Vince did in '03 with Ruthless Aggression, or '02, whichever year that was, when he got everybody together and he was just like, "This is the era of ruthless aggression." And it's like I think that's what they're trying to do now, where it's like, okay, this is the era we're in, you know, because now everybody likes to compare eras. I was telling Bryce yesterday that it's kind of akin to like basketball, right? Like everyone wants to compare eras nowadays, where it's like, oh man, you know, this era ain't like the '80s and '90s and 2000s. We was knocking niggas' heads off and shit like that. And I think the era that we in now is really a mix of attitude and modern. Same thing with the NBA, where it's like a lot of the shit from the attitude era ain't gonna slide in today's climate.
that's
But
true.
you can get away with a lot more shit if you consider it a new attitude era. So like The Rock throwing F bombs, telling refs, and you know, if you count me out, you're fucking fired, you know, shit like that. it it makes a difference. You know what I mean? It makes a difference in the viewership of it for adults. You know, because now it seems like they're trying to appease more to young adults and adults more than they are the kids, which I'm fine with. Especially if they move to Netflix. If the Netflix move means that there will be like an uncut esque version of Raw, maybe like they turn that third hour into like an uncut version, I'm all in for it. To me, that's a new attitude era. That's like, again, it's not the attitude era that you think it is, but it's like a modern attitude era where it's like, of course, we're not gonna have like Mae Young giving birth to fetuses, you know, but we will have, you know, some F bombs, some B's, you know, and some, you know, some bitches and, you know, fuckers thrown around now, which I'm cool with.
You know, one thing I will kind of just piggyback off of that too. It's kind of like just kind of what Kyle said. Like, you don't have to like beat us over the head telling us like a million times. It's a new era. It's a new era. It's just like, you know, you could probably say it once and just either slowly transition and just let the, you know, just let the product speak for itself, and you'll see the changes instead of just saying like we're gonna tell you like a million times. And I think going to Netflix also could be a lot of changes too. So, you know, I don't know if I still would particularly say it could be the attitude era, because like what Gerard just said, like, you know, you can't do a lot of stuff in the attitude era like right now, you know, given today's society and climate and whatnot. And I understand that. I will say, but even sometimes, even if it's like the smallest thing, we see fans bitch on the internet, just like how not that long ago Roman called Seth a cross dresser. Everybody wants to bitch and moan then.
See, but to me,
I'm gonna
that's
get
the
into.
new.
Okay, yo.
I was
Go
gonna say
ahead.
to me, I was just gonna say to me that's the new Attitude Era. Like I'm fine with people being up in arms because again, during the Attitude Era, people were up in arms then about shit. I'm
Yeah,
cool with
yeah.
people like looking at Roman Reigns like, oh my god, how could you say that? Because you know what that builds? Real heat, and I miss real heat in the WWE. You know what I mean?
I mean, remember back in the day, man, what WWE was under fire all the time.
You
My
know what I
goodness.
mean?
So wild for my parents to say, man, just go ahead and just watch
Yo,
them. You
yo,
know,
y'all remember Suck It? Y'all remember how fucking detrimental Suck It was to like the kid community?
my goodness, man, you detention, suspicion. It wasn't
You know what I
like
mean?
people was open about this. Like, yes, the younger fans was open about it because we get to, we get to see these type of thing. But the older people were looking like, nah, what is this?
Yeah, and we all grew up to become well-adjusted adults. I think it'll be okay.
Yeah, so like,
I think it is. I think we're getting kind of the best of both worlds, right? Because you can, like, ruthless aggression was all about work rate and all that, and so now we're getting this era where, quote unquote, era where it is more work rate focused, but we are giving a little more stank to it, like you had in the Attitude Era, but without it going over the line of just like doing
Yeah,
stuff for the sake of doing stuff, like all the Vince Russo booking and everything, and all the offensive stuff. You don't even have to do that because
Mhm.
we don't do that no more. But we still can deliver something with some stank on it without going too far over the line. So I think we're getting like a good little mix, so to speak.
Agreed.
yeah,
yeah, because
yeah.
it's either that or it's like what I was seeing yesterday. People kept bringing up what Cody tried to trademark the Renaissance era, so now people are trying to call it that now. I heard that was a thing. So, I'm not particularly sure like where it's going, but I do agree with Kyle. So like you don't got to beat us over the head with it and tell us like a thousand times and stuff. It's like just let it speak for itself. Like we get it. We know Triple H is running booking currently right now, or I guess either Rock or Brian Gerwitz. So we get it. We just don't need to be beat over the head with it. Like that's how I look at it. But
That's
moving on.
on purpose though, because they're really trying to like distance themselves from Vince and everything, right? So maybe that's
Oh,
why. Like, it's not even for us. Maybe it's for people who feel a kind of way coming in because they're like, no, 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 trust. All that stuff is done. This is new. This is the new WWE. Where we're not doing all. So maybe it's that kind of thing.
I can agree with that because, like I said, they got to kind of get the heat off themselves right now and whatnot. Until people stop talking about it while Vince go deals with his own problems right now. So, like, there you go. Um, but yeah, I get what you mean, though. But moving on from that, we do kick off with the first match of the night: Rhea Ripley versus Becky Lynch for the women's title. Becky Lynch, special entrance, basically coming out with her book that's being sold right now with I guess excerpts from her pages like on her gear, which was pretty cool. And Rhea Ripley, what was the band called that came out with it that performed her theme song?
Motionless in white.
Motionless in White. Yeah, basically just come out performing with her. I thought this was a really good opener. I have to give a lot of credit to Becky Lynch also, given that she came out wrestling with a strep throat and whatnot. And I believe they said like she had like a high degree of 102. So yeah, that's strep throat ain't nothing to play with. But I definitely enjoyed this match though. I thought it was a good opener. I figured Ripley was gonna win anyways. And I kind of say that in a way because I feel like fans were already kind of starting to somewhat turn on Becky and that Ripley is really popular still right now. So it just kind of felt like Ripley was going to win in a way regardless. And I know what Becky's contract is supposed to be coming up soon. So I know that's kind of coming into play also. That's been thrown around a lot. But I definitely enjoyed this match though. Ripley ended up hitting the Riptide, one onto the turnbuckle, and then one in the ring for a clean win.
Man, yeah, I really enjoyed this match. It was like I like, especially once I heard what was going on with Becky, it really made me think like, man, I could do that. And I know I couldn't. I know. I mean, I remember the last time I had it, I was in the bed like it was like the end or something. Like, nah. So I definitely know I could do it. So yeah, I big up to Becky for doing it, man. And I really enjoyed this match. I knew I would. So like Rhea is still popular right now. I still give it to like probably in the middle of the summer where somebody go come out of nowhere and just make a run or something, and then the fans go gravitate toward them. You know how that stuff goes. And so yeah, so I gave it a good a good thumbs up for it. Yeah.
Yeah, I enjoyed the match too. Again, Becky Lynch doing anything with strep throat is crazy. That shit hurt.
Yeah.
but but beyond beyond that, overall it was a good match. Even beyond the strep throat, I think they both came out hell of a great way to start the start WrestleMania. Uh, and they kept the energy going too. I think they really set a good tone for the way WrestleMania went throughout the rest of the night. They set a really good tone for it for sure.
All right, so remember at the beginning of this pod, I said this is probably going to be my heel turn because I got a lot of thoughts about a lot of things. And this match, the wrestling was good. I'm not going to say it wasn't by any means, but I came into this with a lot of feelings already because one, they didn't leading up to this, they didn't do really anything to make you believe Becky was going to beat Rhea. And that's been consistently my problem with Rhea Ripley's title reign for since she won it. Like ever since she beat Charlotte, the question was, okay, well, who's next? And every single time they gave you an answer, it was never somebody that felt like they were going to beat her. And so we got this back-to-back year-long title reign of a whole bunch of, yeah, but it's not going to be this person kind of challengers of the week. And even coming into this match, I was like, all right, but they didn't book this. They didn't build this to make Becky seem like she's the one. It just felt like this was going to be run in the mill. Rhea's about to put her out, and that's exactly what we got. Again, the wrestling was cool, but going into it, I already felt that way. And watching the match play out, it never reached a level past good for me because I never once believed that Becky was going to beat her. And then on top of that, and this is going to be a problem throughout the whole show, that the energy in the crowd for somebody like Rhea, who is so over, social media is beating me over the head with how much people love Rhea Ripley. Like she's in there wrestling, and every time she's wrestling, like the crowd is chilling. Like, this y'all girl, right? Yeah, I need y'all to wake up because this is the first match of the show, and if this is about to be the constant through the whole night, that's not good. And then it ended up being such, and that's why I had a big problem with this show overall. One of them. So I was just sitting there
I do
all right.
agree. That's true. One thing I do agree with you, especially on the title reign thing when it comes to, and we talked about this many times on multiple podcasts now about Ripley's title reign when you feel like it's a challenger of the week. I do look at the build for Becky and Rhea, because Becky won the Elimination Chamber and stuff, but it did, it kind of made you feel that Becky wasn't going to get the win all the way. Because I felt like they did put some build into it, but it's almost like, it was almost like a foregone conclusion of Ripley was going to win this regardless. And I think also in Ripley's title reign, once again, a lot of people she faced felt like challengers of the week, and not really credible opponents. Because I feel like the only credible opponent she really has had throughout this entire title run was beating Charlotte, Nia Jax,
Then
which at
fast
least
forward to Nia Jax.
going to Nia Jax, which they actually did build up to be a credible threat. And then I guess Becky, because she won the Elimination Chamber. Everyone else before that, we talked about it before. It's like the crowd didn't really care throughout the match. We knew who was going to win. And it's like fans kind of sat through their hands. Because, look at the other opponents they had her, go against. Zoe Stark, Raquel Gonzalez multiple times. Liv Morgan, which don't let me get started on that. Who else did she face on Raw? Because it just felt like Ripley was doing more Judgment Day stuff than actually, having credible challengers to face for the championship. So that's why I kind of feel like
Oh,
right now.
exactly. See,
Go
I'm not
ahead.
gonna get into a whole Rhea Ripley rant like I did before because I don't even remember what show it was on. When it might have been when she wrestled Raquel, or I was talking about the comparisons on how people perceive Bianca Belair in comparison to Rhea Ripley, where it's like, oh, we're tired of this person putting a stranglehold in the division. She's got to lose the belt because blah blah blah. Because just people just don't like Bianca for whatever reason. I mean, for whatever reason. And then Rhea Ripley is like, no, we just love Rhea. Just keep it going, even though her title reign is plagued with the same thing that they were complaining about Bianca with. And it's like, bro, by the end of this match, I was like, yeah, Rhea won. Of course she did. Did I think anything else was going to happen? No.
I want to add something to your Steven though. Here's the thing, and I don't even think it played the same way. At least Bianca has some type of foil, like somebody was trying to get in her way. It was some type of storyline. Nah, Rhea is like the monster of the week. She fake was this monster. Hey, next time, see who gonna come next. Like no, like that's like I don't want to see that. And it's like Rhea title reign. That's why I said give it to summer, give it to at least in the summer because we gotta find somebody who gonna climb that ranks again and make be a somebody who the fans gonna be like, man, hey, I want that person to win the Money in the Bank. I want that person to win Royal Rumble. We gotta find that person. It ain't nobody in the women's division climbing the ranks like that.
We're going to have a draft, and then that might shake things up. I mean, maybe you get Bianca on Raw or something and give her finally a challenger that, feels on her level. I mean,
Mhm.
I can't wait for that crowd reception between the two, but yeah, man, I just came out of this like, all right, what's next? I don't see anything differently about to happen, and the crowd is really what made me really kind of not sour, but not think this match was as amazing as I thought it could have been. Because like the wrestling was good, but like when y'all keep telling me, not y'all, but like on social media, when y'all keep telling me how amazing Rhea Ripley is, and she is, how y'all love her so much, and then you get to wrestle her big match at WrestleMania, and y'all sitting on your hands. I'm like, okay, well then, like, why y'all not showing up for her? And that's going to be a constant throughout the whole night. But for this match, it set the tone for what I thought. I was like, okay, the crowd's not here for Rhea, and that just kind of killed it a bit for me. Still good, but it never reached like great to me.
Dry, you got anything else on it?
Yeah, I would love to also give a good shout out because this is one of the main components about the match that nobody really has talked about, and to me, it was the shining moment. Let's give it up for Rhea Ripley's tights throughout the match. Jesus Christ, I mean, they were really holding up a lot of weight, and they did their job well. Her tights just absolutely shined throughout all of WrestleMania. Even after the match, her tights were just absolutely, whoo. So I just want to give a great shout out to Rhea Ripley's tights throughout all of WrestleMania and every WrestleMania after as well.
Gotcha. Hilarious. But yeah, moving on from the women's title. We then go next to the 6-pack ladder match for the undisputed tag team titles, which basically both sets of belts are on the line. So basically they're separated. So one great thing about this is that we don't have to deal with double titles anymore, and one will be back on Raw and the other will be back on SmackDown. But we had Judgment Day, the New Day, Kofi Kingston, and Consequences Creed return from TNA. Awesome Truth, DIY for some reason dressed like DX out there, and honestly, I'll say this right now, they need to give them their old music back because every time they come out, they get no reaction. A-Town Under, Waller and Mid Theory, and the New Catch Republic, Peter Dune and the Guru Tyler Bate. So This wild match, one thing I can take away from this match is, man, I don't know where they got these ladders from, but wow, they need to buy some state-of-the-art ladders because they were breaking down throughout this match. Some say these ladders were probably made out of sawdust, or they got it from a cheaper version of Home Depot or something, because there was a couple rough spots through here. And yes, it was going to be a car crash of a match. You knew it was going to be a lot of wild stuff. It's a ladder match. Anything goes. You got, Tyler Bate doing airplane spin with the ladder, obviously, which is crazy. R-Truth, probably some would say, is one of the best things out of this whole match, given him still trying to join Judgment Day. And then, I still thought it was funny when he tagged himself in and doing John Cena's 5 moves of doom and hitting the FU onto Finn Balor, I think it was, on a ladder, which was pretty good. I'm not going to go through every spot in this match, but there was a lot of cool moments throughout it, though. I know it ended up the SmackDown Tag Team titles. Waller and Theory won, so they are now the new SmackDown Tag Team Champions, but they are still in the match, so they still have a chance to get the Raw ones, but still going through this match, the New Catch Republic and the powerbombing Waller through the ladder, which, once again, people talk about the cheap-ass ladders again. And I'm trying to remember what else. Like, obviously, there's a lot of dives out the ring. Gargano doing the damn, what was it, the final beat DDT to the outside on the table, which looked pretty brutal. Ciampa doing the air raid crash on top of the ladder onto was it Theory? I think I don't remember who he did it on, or maybe it was Pete Dunne. I'm not sure, but it still looked pretty cool. And once again, the ladder thing comes to play because when you saw Priest climbing up the ladder, you could see one of the referees try to get his attention, like, hey man, this working. And they had to jump something else because that would have looked really disastrous if that ladder just broke with both of them standing on top of it, though. So that was pretty brutal. But basically going on to the rest of this match, Priest tried to go back for the titles, but R-Truth ended up coming back in. He hits the FU onto Priest to the outside of the ring, climbs up, gets the Raw Tag Team titles. So now Awesome Truth are the Raw Tag Team champions, and this is R-Truth's first WrestleMania win. So I enjoyed the ladder match. Obviously, it was a car crash. I'm glad they separated the tag team titles. Was a little bit iffy on Waller and Theory winning the SmackDown ones, but I guess they needed a face team and they needed a heel team. So there you go.
Man, it's kind of crazy how these dudes are out here killing themselves to like no noise. Like outside of R-Truth, bro, this crowd didn't give a damn about this.
Bro, I wanna today. My cousin said the same thing, and I had to tell him a joke yesterday. I'm like, hey, look, he's talking about the man, they can at least give him a chair. I'm like, man, we ain't asked for this. I ain't asked for you to go out there and throw yourself against the ladder. It's you. You want to do it? We ain't giving you no chairs for it.
It's crazy, bro. It's like I don't think I've ever seen something so egregious. Like my man Johnny Gargano hits this DDT over the ropes through the table, and the crowd's like, "Oh, okay." I'm like, "Okay." No, oh man. Hey, but Bryce, you said they need to give DIY their old music back. No, they need to leave this company, bro. Bro, the fact that Tommaso Ciampa, the Sicilian psychopath, bro, this dude who had this crazy little shitty mohawk, was running through dudes in Ring of Honor, then came to NXT, crazy with the beard, looking like a homeless man on roids, running through dudes left and right, dropping them on their heads, is now a Triple H tribute act. They need to go, bro. Like,
there's no saving them. Wannabe DX when they came out there. I'm like, why do you want to be DX and they're not really over like that? Like, why? I was wondering that. Like, you have Gargano with like the Shawn Michaels cowboy hat, and they're doing like the super kick and the pedigree out there. It's like, what are we doing? Because I'd rather have Ciampa back on his own, to be honest.
See, Gargano lends himself to be more goofy, and honestly, that's how Triple H has presented him his entire time on main. So it doesn't bother me as much with him. But with Tommaso Ciampa, bro, like this is egregious.
I feel the same way about Tommaso. Real talk, like because I really like Tommaso, and so when I see him presented like this, I'm like, man, look, you could do whatever with Johnny, I don't care. But Tommaso now, look, you could have left him at where he was at there if that was the case. You know,
DIY, and it's so weird how they brought DIY back anyways, because it happens so randomly. I just remember when it happens, like it came back randomly. Nobody in the crowd gave a damn when Gargano came out that he had no reaction. That I don't even think people in that crowd was really watching NXT like that. Like, yeah, they were hot in NXT, but it's like now it's kind of like it's whatever. Like it's whatever. Like honestly, it is.
I mean, to speak on the crowd, Philly crowds are just tough crowds anyway. So that was going to be a tough match because again, you had a few people that the crowd was super interested in. Again, R-Truth does anything, and we all gonna react. It's just hilarious. But again, the thing I walked away with the match is it was a fun match. It did its job. It felt like a pay-per-view-esque match. I wasn't a fan of Austin Theory. That team winning, but I'm cool with it. Again, just having like the face and the heel teams for each brand is cool. But also, like y'all said with Tommaso Ciampa, what I remember was like a few years back and him having an amazing moment and Triple H coming out and it just being like a crazy fucking moment for him. And again, now it kind of reminds me of when FTR was on WWE and how they were just kind of seen as like a goofy tag team. And then, you see them when they leave, they're like one of the best tag teams, going when
So I'm
they're
saying
really
they got
going.
to go.
So like y'all said, like I hate to be the guy also being like, yeah, niggas gotta go, but yeah, I feel like if he was on another brand and I mean completely out of WWE, he would be seen more seriously, and I think he can be a lot bigger than what they're presenting him as right now for sure.
This WWE crowd, they got this on lock, bro. Because R-Truth, he ain't taking no ladder bumps. He ain't jumping off. He's the most over guy in the match, bro. And the Miz does the least amount of work. He's the second most over guy in the match. It's so crazy, bro. Hey, but shout out to Judgment Day real quick though, because I thought they looked fire when they came out, bro. And I know it wasn't a very Judgment Day friendly night outside of Rhea, but I thought they looked fire.
Yeah, because we forgot JD McDonough got involved in that match, and he went through a table also. Like, he went through a couple tables outside, so they pushed him off a ladder.
That suplex he did on Truth, that was crazy. I was like, yo, that was nuts.
That was brutal. I want to point out with like R-Truth also, one thing I will say about this, because when the whole transition, I guess, of power was happening, I kind of got worried about him because they shied away from the comedy stuff. They were gonna stop doing that, but given Truth is just so naturally funny and whatnot, and people just love him, that I'm glad that he finally got a WrestleMania win, because I thought he was gonna get pushed to the side like a while ago, but it was like, no, he's over, so we gotta keep him going and whatnot. So there you go. And one other thing, like Steven was talking about with Judgment Day, and I heard this a lot. A lot of people have been saying online, like, Finn Balor deserves better in a way. Like, Finn Balor's in a good spot, but a lot of people want to see Finn Balor go higher.
Too. Finn is legit one of my favorite wrestlers in the world, like, on me. But I mean, it is what it is. There's no real place for him right now at the top of the card, right? Like, you got Seth, you got Drew, The Rock came back, Cody, Roman. Like, he chilling right now. I feel like at any point they want to heat him up and get him, because he was just main eventing with Seth at SummerSlam like last year. So it's anytime they want to really just get back to that, they can do it.
True. What do y'all think about, I guess, I mean, to ask you also, with the SmackDown tag titles, what y'all think about Theory and Waller just having them in general? Because I'm honestly surprised to see Theory really be winning anything right now.
It depends on what they do next. Because, I mean, it's like the Guns are coming in or something like that, and you just want to have a heel team for them to beat for the belts. I mean, go for it,
Yeah, because Theory just feels like it's a weird spot still with him. That's why I know they got him in a tag team with Waller because they're like Waller's more over than him. But when I look at Theory, sometimes it's like, he's not bad, but we spoke about this before with him. It's like it's still mid, like it's still pretty mid and whatnot, given whoever is booking him, like to what we've seen, because either have been a selfie thing or a generic heel beard 45 there. It ain't it. So, but I get why they put the tag belts. Like, okay, we need a heel team. There you go. And one last thing to add is that this is the first advertisement match of the night, folks. This was brought to you by American Vodka, and we got a whole bunch of prime drinks just sitting around. So get ready for a lot of advertisement through the next few matches.
Oh, real
Man.
quick, when they first revealed that Prime logo on SmackDown, I hated it because they had like the little colored version, but I thought the black and white outline version they did was a lot better. Like, you know, I mean, it's still fuck Logan Paul over here, but I thought it was less distracting with the outline version.
Me too. I
No,
thought
yeah.
so
I was
too.
just about to say my favorite version was the one that didn't exist.
Yeah, we ain't
I
going
mean,
back.
facts.
We ain't going back to that.
I'm so tired of Prime and again, making money, but Jesus Christ, man, I don't like advertised matches. And again, I understand the company got to make their money, but at the same time, nigga, y'all making enough money. Jesus, y'all just came from a $10 billion deal. Y'all niggas, this is WrestleMania. Y'all selling out tickets. Y'all really need to also give advertisement to all of these things, so we got to see this throughout the whole WrestleMania. I don't know. I was pretty annoyed by it, especially
Thank
the
Nick
huge
Khan.
Prime.
Shit. At the same time, I look at it as like the name of the game. You get what I'm saying?
Mhm.
Yeah, I feel like as soon as I know that that's the name of the game, I could just like, man, look, all right, cool. They over here trying to sell me vodka. I won't even drink that shit. Fuck y'all niggas. It's like they try to sell me drink. I see all my guys at the job in my outbound be drinking that stuff, man. Look, I don't drink that stuff. And it's like I just know it's annoying, but like I make sure it don't take me out of this match. Especially if it's a match that I like, which none of the matches that were doing the advertising then was the matches that I like. We'll get to
That's
that.
real.
True. That is true because
Yeah,
yeah, you could thank Nick Khan for that because it's a lot of advertisements. Yeah, there was advertisements on NXT earlier that day. Like I said, you got Fallout being promoted. You got Knuckles, the Echidna, because he's got a show coming. So just standing
Oh,
right behind the announcers.
was like,
And so
wait, this.
it's like they had to get Knuckles there because unlike Sonic, he doesn't chuckle.
Oh, that was
Yeah,
funny with him just standing behind Booker T, like Booker T looking at him like, like that was funny.
hey, he took time out of his day from protecting the Master Emerald to go to NXT that day. So unlike Sonic, he doesn't chuckle. He rather flex his muscles. I'm not gonna sing the whole song, but next though, this is where I start. This is where I thought the show started to start dragging in the middle right here. Because next, this match is brought to you by Minute Maid Lemonade, where it was Dominic and Santos Escobar and the rest of Legado de Fantasma versus Rey Mysterio and Andrade with the rest of the LWO. Which the first thing I thought when I saw like Legado come out, I was kind of like, okay, why are DJZ and Mendoza in their gear when they don't really have a match going on, but then they were just there to do dives and stuff? But going into this match, to be honest, in a way, I felt it was kind of somewhat last minute, especially kind of shoehorning Dominic in there.
Boy,
And then, they put Dragon Lee for some reason last week, which didn't make any sense, just to take him out on SmackDown and now have Andrade come in at the last second. Because even I said last week, like, why didn't they just put Andrade to begin with? What was the point of putting Dragon Lee? And then again, some people even wanted Carlito in the match also. I would have thought that because I knew nobody else in the LWO wasn't really going to do anything because I feel like the rest of the other members are just kind of there. Mendoza, Cosplay Vega, and DJZ, which I still like what Dominic said on SmackDown. You're not even Latino. Like, I'm like, yeah, we've all said that. This guy's Filipino. He's not even Latin. So how is he in this group? But, the tag match, it wasn't bad. It wasn't a bad match, but the finish just really confused the hell out of me once we got there. Because everybody had to do dives. I thought Zelina Vega's moonsault hit Lopez right in the face if you go back and look at it. When
You a dog. That did happen. It was
off the top
smack.
rope to that side.
My
Yeah, like
goodness.
she got smacked in the face by that. She got smacked. Like that was like dead in her face. I'm like, damn, that was brutal. But then like going into the end of the match, you got these two dudes just jumping the barricade, coming to help Rey Mysterio, and I'm like, who are these guys? Like, what's going on here? And then Rey and Andrade end up winning, 619 and the splash, and they won the match because. Yeah, I'm gonna let Steven say the line what he told me because I thought it was hilarious. Like, who did you think those guys were?
I don't remember you was talking about, but yeah, I said the Mexican APA.
Oh, you the one that came up with that APA. I was gonna tell him
Mexican
like,
APA.
oh, that was man, that had me on the flow, Steven. I was on the flow, boy. I was like, yeah, they
that
look.
was a great one. And that's exactly what their ass looked like. So I'm sitting here like, who the fuck?
The one is Mexican at the end. Like,
I'm sitting here.
They're
sitting
part of
here.
Philadelphia Eagles.
Yeah,
Dude, and I'm
boy.
sitting here because that's what I was trying to pay attention to. I was trying to look at like the beards under the mask. I'm like, I know these big white dudes ain't just gonna pop up out of nowhere. Either they athletes or they do something with Philly. So I'm like, who could these be? And then I saw the fucking beard. I'm like, nigga, that's Kelsey. That's I know who the fuck that is. That's Travis Kelsey, brother, nigga. Yeah, all right, cool. So these niggas, they offensive lineman for the Eagles. Well, Kelsey retired now. But I'm sitting here like, oh, okay, that makes sense. All right, now I know who these. I'm sitting here like, who the fuck are these big white dudes? I know they're not former wrestlers because they looked old as hell, even under the mask. I'm like, who the fuck are these old ass wrestlers?
But yeah,
especially
that the
white
faces
wrestlers
had
in
to
this
cheat.
match. I'm sitting here like, what the fuck is going on?
Right. Say like what is the white wrestlers in this match for the Latino and one Filipino?
Right, I'm sitting there. Right?
I'm like, what? And I'm like, the faces had to cheat. They had to cheat to win. I'm like, what is going on here? Like, I was so confused in the end. Like, what is going on?
I have wrote my feelings down about this match because I was like, yeah, the match was okay, but the only fun part was the equal players came out. And I swear that was the only fun part because y'all was just recapping the match just a few seconds ago. It just would replay it in my head like, oh yeah, that did happen. Oh yeah, she did kick her in the face. Oh yeah, it was like I forgot all about that match all until the last part because that was a forgettable match. I kind of figured that what they trying to do is they didn't do the heel turn. Now they're gonna do it on Friday, and Carlito go in and beat it Ray up, and then we're gonna start that little feud up probably on Friday. And like I just felt like it was just one of those pointless matches. It was like, ah man, the right person ain't even over here. Why is Andrade over here? He was just with Dominic over there in Judgment Day. What just happened? I swear I ain't gonna watch that Friday Night SmackDown then. If that's the case, I don't know why. But I was confused. It was just pointless. That's all I have to say.
Yeah, because
see, you brought up oh, go ahead, yo.
No, I was just gonna add one thing real fast. Like just one thing Kyle said. If Carlito ends up betraying him, and I think I may have told some people this yesterday, I like Rey Mysterio should really just stop trusting people because it looks like everybody just keeps betraying him for some reason. I'm like, if it ain't Eddie, it's Batista. If it ain't Batista, it's Dominic. If it ain't Dominic, it's Santos. I'm like, I don't know why Rey keeps trusting these people.
Well, Kyle did bring up excellent point about Carlito's heel turn, because right before we went on to do this, Bryce, I said to you that a lot of these matches felt like means to an end rather than a culmination of a feud. So this match, especially, like, we only got this match, one, so they can do the stupid equal shit, and then two, just so we can justify Carlito heel turn, bro. And I'm just like, I mean, I just to give like quick thoughts on the match, I didn't really like this match at all. Kyle's absolutely right saying it was very forgettable. But what I do remember of it, I didn't like any of it. I don't know how you have a match involving Rey and Santos and Andrade, and it just feels so lifeless. Like these are some of the best luchadors ever, and it just feels like this is a rudimentary tag match. I'm like, we're gonna get three rudimentary tag matches on this show. You can't give me the lucha tag match in this match. We just got to do a regular ass tag match for this when all these dudes should be flipping and diving and jumping all over the place. And I mean, we kind of got that with the people not even in the match. like if that's what y'all wanted to do, you should have made it like an 8-man tag or something. But and then when we finally get to the end of it, it's just like, okay, so we just did this match just so we can get to the heel turn. And it's like, if the heel turn was the goal, then y'all should have been doing that already. So we could have gotten Rey and Carlito on this show instead of what we did. Because I didn't like a single, and just because I'm a Ravens fan, that don't got nothing to do with it. I mean, but I didn't like it either.
Yeah, this dude.
No, I can't even be mad at that. If this was like in fucking Wisconsin and two fucking Packers came out, well, fuck this whole match. You know, I ain't got nothing to talk about.
I like this whole match. I just thought it was so odd how they just kind of like, okay, we got to give you Rey versus Dominic again in some sort of fashion, so we'll just put Dominic in out of nowhere. Like, I'm like, okay,
This was the hottest feud last year, and it was just like some afterthought this
Yeah.
year.
it's like we
But
had to put them in there again. Like we had to do it for
but
some
you know
reason.
what? You know what also should have happened? Bad Bunny appearance. If he wasn't gonna be in the match, a Bad Bunny appearance would have been great too. Even instead of fucking Travis Kelsey or not Travis Kelsey, I forget his name, but the
It
older
might as
Kelsey
well be,
brother.
bro.
Yeah, Jason.
Yeah, yeah, Jason Kelsey. There we go. Nigga, yeah, better than Jason Kelsey coming up with Jason Long or whoever the fuck. Like I don't know. I wasn't like I liked it. It was great. You know, it was cool to see them. Like, okay, that's dope. But like, nigga, Bad Bunny would have been better if he was free. I'm assuming he wasn't free.
Yeah, you know what? I do agree with that because yeah, I would have minded Bad Bunny. Like, yeah, he is associated with the LWO, so like, yeah, that probably would have brought a lot more hype into the match because people like Bad Bunny. So that would have actually kind of made some sense too.
Especially because that would have appealed to a larger base than, like, I mean, they're in Philly, but there's no telling that WrestleMania crowd is full of people from Philly. Like, people travel from all over the world to come to WrestleMania. So if Bad Bunny was in there, at least that has a tie to what's been going on rather than just a pop of Philly crowd that may not even be fully Philly. Like,
Yeah,
Yeah, there
But
you go. So yeah,
it,
I definitely agree.
but I mean, you right on that. On the one end of the spectrum, I don't think I don't think it was um a less number. Trying to make I mean, come up with the right word for it. But yeah, I don't think it was a low number. My bad. I don't even know why I didn't get that. But yeah, a low number. I don't think it was a low number. I think it was a pretty high number that most of those people out there were probably Philly people. Like at least, I'll say at least 60%. The other 40 probably came from around the world and other places, throughout the country. But I'll give it a good 60% that came from Philly.
yeah.
I could see that. So that yeah, because WrestleMania is usually around the world type of thing. So I can probably believe those numbers right there. So I definitely believe that. But moving on to the next match, though. This match is brought to you by what? Pure Drink, I think it is, or something. But next we had Jimmy versus
that's what it's
Jay.
called.
Yeah, I don't even remember the whole drink all the way. It's
Yeah, that's
pure
what it's
drink,
called. That's the worst name for a drink ever, bro.
Pure drink.
pure water, pure drink, whatever it was called. I don't know, but it was Jimmy versus Jey Uso. I did like the video package for, and my brother's keeper and all that. But before they even had anybody do anything, they announced the greatest rapper of all time, Lil Wayne, to come out and perform. He performed a milli for like maybe 20 seconds.
Maybe 20 seconds, yeah.
A milli, a milli, a milli, a milli, a milli.
Hey, but messing up the
It
words
was
to
great to
everything.
see Wayne though.
I was
We-
Am I
rolling.
tripping, or didn't they say he was going to debut a new song or something at WrestleMania?
Yeah,
Am I
he said
tripping?
that on Raw. I swear he said that on Raw.
Yes, they said he was debuting a new song.
It's the Millie remix, huh?
To convince the Millie. That's the
Oh
new
man.
song.
Like, we only got like 20 seconds of a milli. And I'm like, wait, he was supposed to perform a new song. I thought we were getting a new track. I wanted to hear that. Hell, I wanted him to rap off of Jey Uso's beat. I wonder how that would have went. It's like he
That's
came
what I thought
out.
we were getting.
Yeah, he did a milli for like 20 something seconds. And that, like, man, you even finished the whole verse. So it's like you just did the line that everybody knows, and that was kind of it. And then like you see them like going to camera, because like you said, there was a lot of more rappers out there too, like literally right behind the announce team, because you got 2 Chainz out there, you got Wale out there,
Parlay,
you got
yep.
Drewski, you got you said Lil Baby was out there, right? Dry.
Yeah, Lil Baby was out there, nigga.
Like I said,
It
you
was a
had
few people.
it was like several rappers out there. But nah, I was expecting Wayne to like do a new track though. I wanted to hear it, but I was like, he just came out performing a milli for like 20 seconds, and that was kind of it, and just walked out there with Jey Uso and just started saying anything basically. So it's like, I'm like, hey, we got Wayne on WrestleMania, even though it's like 20 seconds, but boom, there you go. Now the
And
match
you know
itself.
what?
Go ahead.
What's
Wayne
up?
showing up, you advertising Lil Wayne for this show, and him showing up for 20 seconds to do that is a complete perfect allegory for this match, bro.
I've heard people say this was probably the worst match out of this whole show. One thing I can
Probably.
say about this match was super kick, super kick, super kick, super kick, super kick, super kick, super kick party. I saw so many people saying like, man, it's like watching a Young Bucks match out here. And listen, we know both of these guys are mostly tag team wrestlers, okay? And they've been trying to do the singles thing. But man, it's like hitting the spam button like several thousand times, just doing super kick and super kick and super kick. And then, Jay just, my bad, cut you off. Just let me finish real quick, but like super kick, super kick, super kick, and then splash, and it's over. Like, that was it. Like, that was just kind of it. It was just, that's the main thing to say about this match, was just spamming super kicks.
Like yesterday, I was kind of messing around with the star ratings and stuff. I was making my own, and I kind of gave it a 2. But as we all talking about it, I was just being generous because I like Jay. Yeah, I like Jay as the performer, and I want to see him keep on climbing up the rank. So I guess I'm kind of being generous by saying it was a 2. No, it was a 1 because that match was not good at all, man. It was like Bryce was just saying, super kick, super kick, super kick. Oh man, Jay, come on, please don't hurt me. Please don't hurt me, man. Come on, we gonna be brothers again. Then Jay over here. Yeah. After what you did to me all these years, might as well we back at it again. Yeah, all of a sudden another super kick, splash, and then it was the end of the match, and me and my were looking at each other like, how? What just happened here? What just happened? The match over already? And they quickly just moved on. They quickly moved on.
Yeah, that was definitely
Done.
the filler. Yeah,
One
that was
and done.
definitely. Yeah, it was the filler match of the night for sure.
Let me say this too. Like, listen, this wasn't like Brett. I know they built on the whole brother versus brother in the past like 15 years. This ain't Brett versus Owen. This ain't Matt versus Jeff. And even the build going into this, I know it's been said, well, let's just go by their entire history throughout the entire build. Because when this match was even announced and whatnot, was it really a lot of build, like just leading into the Mania match that much, other than just Jimmy screwing Jey out of title matches? Because I know they can go off the whole, we'll just go through the whole bloodline thing since like last year and all that, and we'll go from there.
I mean, that's the whole
Oh
story,
yeah.
though. That's the whole story. I mean, it wasn't nothing else to do. It
No,
was.
there was definitely more to do. I got a hard disagree on that, man. Because right from the jump, they started the Royal Rumble together, and you're like, oh, okay, we're gonna start to build to WrestleMania, and they didn't even have anything to do with each other getting eliminated, and that was the first sign where I was like, oh, all right, so we not really doing this, okay. Then nothing happened for 2 months, nothing at all, and then all of a sudden Jimmy's like, you know what, I'm gonna screw Jey, and now we have our build like 3 weeks ago. Like, nah, this this was set up to fail the moment they had nothing to do together at the Royal Rumble. As soon as that happened, this was set up to fail, bro, because you didn't build it to what it could have been. And then when we finally got the match, I'm like, all right, there's no stipulation on this. So they really going to let these dudes just rely on their actual wrestling ability to tell this story. All right, fine. Let's see what they got. Jey immediately gets on them with the tope, and I'm like, okay, let's go. Give me that heat. And then it's just 11 minutes of a whole bunch of nothing, bro. They built for 11 minutes to one story beat, and then as soon as he did the story beat, he lost. Like, what the hell was this? This was dog shit, bro. I hated this. I hated it from, like I said, as soon as Wayne came out for 20 seconds, perfect allegory for this match, bro. You promised me something, you gave me none of it, and in the end, I hated it.
That's exactly how I felt too. No, I ain't gonna lie to you. I did. I felt the same way. I just looked at it like, what what are we doing next then? Are we just moving on? And I hope so because I don't want to see no more of it. You know, we seen it. I don't want to see no more of it, and that's how I feel. Yeah, one more thing before I give it to somebody else. I was already on the cuffs of it's not going to ever be better than Brett and Owen. I was going to give it a second place, and I was like, man, because that match with Jeff and man, it was okay. It was a Extreme Rules match, and it played to Jeff, played to Jeff strength, but I'm gonna give it a second place. But nah, it got to go behind that now. They got to go behind Jeff and Becky because it was one of the worst matches I ever seen in WrestleMania. Like me watching WrestleMania, I don't think I see a worse match.
Especially based on what it could have been. Like I'm not going
Right.
to sit here and act like Jay and Jimmy are like some in-ring savants or something. Like it was never going to be that, but you could have definitely at least told a story in it, and you only told one piece of the story, and it could have been so much better if it had a stip, bro. Because none of these matches had a stip except the ladder match. But if you made this like falls count anywhere or something, and Jay is just beating the mess out of this dude with a chair or something, and then Jimmy's like, wait, come on, bro, like we brothers, and then does all the story, like that's cool. But to just take 8 super kicks to the face, no sell them, and then eventually be like, all right, that's enough, and then we get the bit that we like. This was dog shit, bro. I don't know who produced this match, but y'all need to talking to because this was not it, bro.
Yeah,
Yeah,
this
this
was
this
yeah.
nah,
It was now it was my least favorite match of the night. I'm glad everybody agrees. Huh? It was such, I don't want to say boring because it wasn't that it was boring. And maybe also I was watching it on my phone. That was also the match that I went to go to the dispensary and get me some smokes. So I was halfway paying attention to it. But even when I went back and looked at it later last night, there was nothing that interested me. Literally, Rice said, and he said it here too. He said it yesterday. He was like, "This was a Young Buck match," and I was saying, like, could you imagine the Young Bucks versus the Usos in a match? That would just it would annoy the fuck out of me. And it was just so many super kicks. It was It to me reminded me of a Roman Reigns match. It was predictable.
Yeah, Jay was gonna win this anyways. Like, I had no doubt in my mind that Jey Uso was gonna lose this match because he's the one that's been getting the biggest push on Raw most of the time, and Jimmy just kind of been. I feel like Jimmy just been standing around the whole time till WrestleMania. Like, okay, this is my thing. I can go against Jay because kind of before that he just been just standing around in the bloodline, just doing whatever basically throughout this whole time. So it's like you
Maybe
knew
that's
it
why
was
he should have won.
failure.
See, maybe that's why he should have won. Like
Yeah,
maybe
give
you
him
should
something.
have had Solo run out and attack Jay or something, like something to give Jimmy the rub here, because I mean he's got nothing now. Like he lost straight up. Bro, he even did a swerve on him and still lost. Like there's nothing. You got nothing, bro. You're done. Pack him
Yeah,
up.
I like move on. Let them move on to something else now. Like it's over. Like we get it. It's over. I don't know what else. Like, well, I don't want to see another match at the next pay-per-view. So I'm like, it's kind of like move on because this wasn't it. Especially for WrestleMania, this definitely wasn't it. Okay, so yeah, this match was not good. It sucked. But let's move on into the next match. This match is brought to you by Wingstop. Depending if you like it or not, because I have mixed opinions on that, but that's a different story for another day. But we had Bianca, Jade, and Naomi versus Damage Control. I will say this: I like the entrances a lot. I did like the geishas coming out with like the ceremonial like flower rose petal thing, and I thought Damage Control's entrance was pretty cool. And like Bianca, Jade, and Naomi coming from like the platform all the way down, and I know some people kept trying to say they look like the X-Men or something because like Bianca's glasses was apparently supposed to look like Cyclops' visors, and we already know the Storm comparison with Jade. But looking at this entire 6-woman tag, this was just to make Jade look super strong on her big WrestleMania debut because she only really just hit a few moves at the end. It's like all this match was about was okay, Bianca got her 4-peat, so Bianca's already Teflon. We already know that. Okay, so she got the 4-peat. Naomi gets to get back on Mania. Like I said, Jade looks strong. And it's like, yeah, this match went like barely even 10 minutes, which I'm not really surprised by that because one, it's like y'all beat Damage Control. Like, who gives a fuck? I'm sorry. I've been saying that from the beginning ever since this group was formed. Like, I don't mind most of the people individually, but I've always thought this group has sucked since day one. But this whole match was like, okay, we make Bianca, Jade, and them look super strong. Because, listen, Bianca and Jade as a team by themselves was already OP. Or even like Steven told me yesterday, we've already seen Bianca beat the hell out of Damage Control by herself. Hell, we've seen Becky beat up Damage Control by herself. So this, some would say this was a glorified squash match, damn near. But this is like this was what it needed to be, and it's like I already said, Jay got the big win. She got her debut at WrestleMania. Bianca gets the 4-peat. Naomi gets back at WrestleMania. I'll give Kyle one credit right here. Like, you are right about one thing. She did come twerking to the ring. So that was good to see too. But it's not a lot I can really say about this match. Other than like the faces went over super strong. The team was OP. It was OP.
See, that's where I landed with it. Like the point of this match is exactly like you said. It was just to give Jade her big moment. This had nothing to do with whatever was going to happen in the ring. It was literally just let's do these entrances, let's have Jade get the pin, and that's it. And I mean, on one hand, Asuka's like one of my top 3 favorite women's wrestlers ever. So would I feel a way that she's put in this position? Maybe, but at the same time, it's like, I mean, we're here to accomplish something else here. We're trying to just make this woman Jade feel like the biggest, baddest, greatest ever, and that's all it was designed to do, and that's exactly what it did. And when we were talking about it, Bryce, it's like, yeah, I mean, maybe it could have gone longer, this or that, but nobody in the arena was here to see Damage Control get heat for like 10 minutes, and then somebody make a like nobody was there for that. They literally just wanted the J tag, let her get her shit in, and just end the match. Like, so I mean, it is what it is, and The entrances were fire. I wish Damage Control kept the music the Geishas came out to because their music sucks. And other than, the moment it came and went, I had a good time with it. And that's it.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
had a good
it's not
time
a
with
lot
it
to
too.
say.
I had a good time with it too. It was the crazy part about it. It was like I knew this match was going to be. And I was just looking forward to that part. All right, Bianca, do your thing. All right, Naomi, all right. Bring in Jay. And that's all I wanted to see throughout the whole match. Jay do her thing and get it over with. I see you on Friday. And it was like I didn't really have too much of a problem with it. Yeah, it was there to do its job.
Yeah, I look at it from a perspective of like, yeah, the match itself was for Jade, but the overall arc and story I'm really liking, which could go many ways. It could go into, to me, what I feel like should happen, a Jade and Bianca Belair tag team situation that maybe leads to a championship run. That way, Jade gets some type of championship run fairly early in her career, and it also helps that she will be with somebody so good as Bianca, so she can learn how to get better. Because the one thing that I will say is that this match also proved to me that Jade is not ready to carry a match yet, which is a-okay, nigga. She mad new. She's still really learning and development, but she's also getting a push from what she did with AEW. WWE had to push their new signees, so they wanted to make sure that there was some visibility on Jade at WrestleMania for obvious reasons. And again, I feel like with due time she'll get that. I feel like it should also lead to a long term rivalry between the two strongest, to me, women competitors in WWE right now, Bianca and Jade. I think they are the two scariest motherfuckers to go up against as far as who you don't want to go up against. So them at SummerSlam would be fired. Them at WrestleMania next year would be fired when Jade has a year under her belt of understanding what the company's like. So yeah, it was a great match for that reason. It was a quick squash match. I wasn't expecting anything more. I wasn't expecting anything compelling from it. But it really just makes me more excited now that I've seen them both in the ring at the same time and saw how evenly matched they kind of made them. Because Jade really went through everybody too. She did her thing. I really can't wait to see what happens when one of them egos get bigger. Whose ego gonna get bigger? Is it gonna be Jade or is it gonna be Bianca? But I also feel like they should have a powerhouse team first.
Real quick, I'll say, actually, I fuck with a lot with what you just said. But just real quick, uh, one thing I really like is just even outside the ring, just the vibes, man. Seeing them all together, like on social media and stuff. I saw them at the press scrum. It's like, yeah, man, this is just cool, man. They're just all hanging out. Like Naomi seems so happy to be a part of this, and Bianca and Jade are really putting her over every time they get a chance. And it's like, yeah, this is just cool, man. So I just wanted to say that real quick, because every time, like, my timeline was flooded with it, and I'm like, holy shit, positive stuff for Black women in wrestling. I love it, man. I'm retweeting all of this shit.
Yeah.
So yeah, I just had to get that out.
Three things I will take away also from this match too. Um, there's a few things there. One thing I do agree with Steve upon. You talk about getting rid of Damage Control's music. Can we give Naomi her old theme back also? Because I don't know what they gave her for this current one, but I'd rather have her old theme song come back, or hell, I'd rather hear her TNA theme come back. Um, Two, and I guess in Bianca's case, like I said, she got the four-peat. I may sound a little bit biased, maybe because Bianca's like killed it for the past 3 years. In a way, I kind of feel like I was expecting to have another title match at WrestleMania and get another big win. For some reason, I kind of felt like that was gonna happen. And three, at this point, and not to get off topic, but you look at the tag belts, and then when I saw NXT, I guess now they want to create a North American women's belt. At this point, can we just kill the women's tag titles? Because like, dude, nobody gives a fuck. Like, I'm sorry. Like, I've seen it enough on TV where the crowd is like crickets out there every time they do a tag title match, no matter who the champions are. Like, that's just me, but I'm just saying, because it's like I could hear a pin drop and nobody be caring about the tag title matches.
Dude, it was crickets tonight until Jay got tagged in.
There you go. Once again, crickets again. This was, like I said, we all knew what this match was designed for. So, like, just to get to it, but I'm just saying, it's like you see the tag belt so much, it's like whatever at this point to the crowd. But that's like three things I kind of like also took away from it too. But like I said, we all know what this match was designed for, and that was it. Like, got in, done. Jade looked super strong, and that's it. Don't know where they go on to next. I'm not sure. I'm assuming Bianca goes back for the title again or something too. So um, we'll see. And once again, give Naomi her old music back.
I don't know why they can't use the TNA theme anyway. I mean, unless they just don't want to, but that's a Josiah Williams Joan. It's not like TNA had that, like they own that. I don't see why. Just change the name at the beginning to Naomi instead of Trinity, and it's the same. Like I don't get it, man. They're weird about this Def Rebel shit, bro.
Yeah, I'll say this before we move on to the next match. A lot of the music they have right now sucks. Okay, a lot of it really sucks. Like it's bad that I don't even know why they be changing people's themes sometimes, because I'm like, this shit sounds horrible. Okay, it's just bad. All right, so there you go. But next, moving on, which for once this is not an advertised match, and I thought this was probably damn near the best thing out of the whole night, and this is where the show actually picked back up again, was the Intercontinental Championship on the line. Sami Zayn versus Gunther. One thing to say about Sami, and even going to his entrance, because they pass him and his family, and then he goes up to Chad Gable, and basically you got to do this by yourself because he's like the coach. And then even walking up to Kevin Owens, Kevin Owens, firing him up and hugging him, saying like, "Go do it out there." Basically, this whole match was like the movie, Rocky 3, I think it was. Sami was basically Rocky right here. That's what they were leading to in all this. Like, the weird thing I still feel like out of this whole feud, like, this is a great match. Like, I enjoyed it. Like, you got Sami damn near getting killed out there, like, with 5 different power bombs and still finding a way to fight through and, somehow still get the win with the haluva kick in the end. But, I look at the Chad Gable involvement, because I guess he's supposed to be like Paulie from Rocky and whatnot. But it just, what got me about this feud was like, when did Chad Gable get all the answers all of a sudden now to beat Gunther when he already lost him to himself? And I've seen, chatter on the internet about people saying, this should have been Chad Gable in this position, or it should have been a triple threat match and whatnot, and stuff. Because, like, oh, well, Sami's been Intercontinental Champion before. Like, I didn't really have a problem with it. I figured Sami was going to get this spot anyway, given the story they was telling to begin with. So like him winning, I get it. Like I said, it was basically like Rocky out there, and him going to his family, like just sitting right there, like, Adrian, I did it. I'm like, my God, I'm surprised he didn't start playing Mighty Tigers after that, and stuff. So I thought this was still one of the best things out of the night, though. I know I've seen like different opinions on it, but I personally enjoyed the match, and I liked it a lot. And Sami won the title. He ended this 600 something day reign of Gunther, because a lot of people don't beat Gunther other than Sami and Ilya Dragunov. So I liked it.
Man, this was my favorite. This was my favorite match of the night. Favorite match of the night. I love Sammy in this position, because in this position, you know Sammy can sell well. It's like this is my favorite thing from Sammy, is to come from behind babyface. And he can play that very well, and he did it very good tonight. I mean, my goodness, man. I could gush over this match all night, man, but I'm not going to do it. But it was my favorite match of the night.
Yeah, Sammy does it again. He's really good at, like, his in ring acting is great. And also, I'll say this. Speaking of in ring acting, shout out to fucking Walter. I know Gunther is his name, but I was telling Bryce that shit sound like a fucking old country hit. I ain't about to call this nigga Gunther all damn day. But Walter is just too badass. So Walter, his in ring acting was also really good. I think it was like when he was choking Sami Zayn out. If you look in that nigga eyes, there was like a look of desperation, like, please just pass the fuck out. Like, just please, just pass the fuck out. I'm like, I don't want to keep doing this shit with you. So like that, and then when he finally got a good hold of him, started doing splashes and shit, like the confidence, him like again, it was mad Rocky-esque. Um, yeah, it was a lot of great in ring acting. Also, Shorty, whoever Shorty was sitting next to Zayn's wife, was
Yeah, I
hella
saw.
like, why was she like Mona
Yeah,
Lisa smiling through the whole fucking match, just like just like
Yeah.
smirking through
I
the whole
saw
match.
that.
It was kind of letting me know where the match was going. Like, I guess she's not used to being on TV, like it's national TV, so just like that embarrassed kind of smile. But damn, kind of letting me know where it's going. Can you act like you concerned?
Man. It,
For
it
me, man,
like
this
one of
oh, what's
my
up, bro?
bad. I'm sorry, Steve. No, I was just telling Gerard, it's like it'd be like one of us in that position. Well, we'd be so like amped up with emotion, like, oh my god, we on TV.
You know what I
Smile.
mean?
Shoot, I would
But
have
I'm
been the
trying to
dude
save the
hype. I
food I
was like,
can.
hey, Gunther, kick his ass, bro. But hey, man, for me, I got two feelings on this match, man. Nothing y'all said I disagree with. And in terms of in-ring action, easily matching the night. This is fire, bro. If I were to give star ratings, that kind of thing, I'd be like, yeah, 4.25, 4.5, whatever, bro. Excellent stuff. In a vacuum, fantastic. Outside the vacuum, though, I I don't know how I feel about it, man, because I don't think they did the work to make Sammy this guy. Like, I don't think they did the work to make it feel like this was earned for Sam. And everybody online is like, it should have been Chad Gable, but they didn't do the work for him either, man. If Chad Gable was in the same position, rolled up on this night and beat Gunther, I would have felt the exact same way because you didn't make this feel like that. It First of all, I mean, y'all said Rocky 3. I thought this was going Rocky 4, where I thought he was just going to keep killing Sammy until Chad Gable ran out and threw in the towel or something. Like, that's where I thought this was going. But then when Sammy ended up winning, I was like, okay, like that's where we're going with that, huh? Like, I don't know. For everything that Gunther was, and I know they had to pivot because they were doing the Brock thing, but at the same time, y'all had mad time after the Brock thing to think of something. And if you knew this is what you wanted to do, I feel like you should have been building towards that immediately. Like,
yeah.
you should have heated up Chad Gable. You should have heated up Sami Zayn. Sami Zayn, not even a month ago, was losing to Drew McIntyre on Raw. Like, it's like, y'all, you didn't build to this. It just felt like you did it just to do it, rather than you had this in mind all the time that this is where you wanted to go with it. And even in the match, Sammy only beat him because Gunther just got cocky. So you didn't even really accomplish what you were trying to accomplish out of the moment. Because what if they have a rematch? Then Gunther would take him more seriously and he would just beat him, right? In kayfabe, that he would just beat him this time because he's not going to play around anymore. So I just feel like y'all didn't do what y'all should have done to make this feel like what you wanted it to feel like. And I don't know. And moving forward, like, people are saying, oh, but I can't believe they did this to Gunther and all. I'm like, that's not where I'm going with it. I'm just saying that if you wanted to make this a moment for Sami Zayn, you should have been building this as soon as the Brock thing fell through. And we didn't get that, man. It's kind of unfortunate because I still feel like I said, in a vacuum, this was heat. Like, nothing was wrong with it in terms of the in-ring action, but I don't think it accomplished in the grander scheme what this should have accomplished, considering this record-breaking reign that Gunther's had. I just don't feel like, I don't know, man. I when it was over, I felt kind of weird about it.
Yeah, like I still like enjoyed the match overall though. One thing I will say, I feel like Sammy's win last year at WrestleMania felt bigger. Like, this was still big, but I feel like given last year and the whole story with the bloodline and Jay, I feel like he had his biggest moment last year at
And they built that too.
WrestleMania. Yeah, that's true. And like I said, the build and all of that, like, I know, like I know they've been building Sami here because it was almost like at first he's losing all these matches on Raw and going saying like I have to be a champion. I have to be a champion. I gotta win at WrestleMania and stuff. So like I get where they were going, but I can still kind of see what you're talking about at the same time. Because like you said, what it was originally apparently supposed to be Brock, but all the other stuff happened, so he couldn't do it right now. So it's like now they've kind of all right, we're gonna go with Sami now. And like I said, they basically went with the whole Rocky route. Even and I'll say this too, even when they was doing that training montage with Gable on Raw, I at first kind of thought that Gable was just trying to tire out Sami so he can betray him at first. I actually kind of thought that until like, oh, okay, he's just helping him then win the match because I thought he probably would have came back out, but he was like, no, you have to do this by yourself. You got to do it on your own. And
Keep that
like
on.
still won.
Keep that on the table though, Bryce. You on a good track though. Keep that on the table. Don't move that because that will happen. I think so too. I just don't. I ain't think it was gonna happen last night though. But I do agree with you. It will happen though. But Chad gonna be gonna turn heel. You know, that's the only course that I can see that can happen. Really. You know.
True. And one other thing to add too, I thought it was kind of also odd in the build-up, like 2 weeks before Mania, you got Bronson Reed beating him. Don't get me wrong, Sami got his win back later, but I do feel like now, given Reed beat him, now he's gonna probably come out and say, well, I beat you up before, so I should get an Intercontinental title shot now, because that's what I feel like may happen. Like, man, they've already given him what they give him on SmackDown, the Andre the Giant trophy thing. So I actually kind of thought that too at one point because I'm like, why would they have Sami lose 2 weeks before Mania? But that was just to build the whole story. Well, he's got to stay focused. He can't be falling off. You got you got to prove you're ready to face Gunther and all that. So that's kind of where they were going with it at the same time. But I could see that happening, or Chad now probably coming up saying like, yeah, I helped you get to the Intercontinental title. Now you owe me. I want my title shot.
I mean, and that's fair. I mean, that's obviously where they're going to go with it. But you just reinforce my point. This man just lost to Bronson Reed, and then this past week on Raw, him and Chad Gable both got slapped up and punked in front of the entire world. And I'm like, and now this dude just beat Gunther. Look, that's what I'm saying. Like, oh no, bro. It's just, I say, in a vacuum, it was lit. Like, if I didn't watch anything, if I had no prior knowledge except the streak, then I would have been like, okay, this was lit. But having followed this story for all this time, it's just like, what? This dude, I don't know, man. It's weird, dog.
True, because and I'll say this at this point too. Not to cut you off, Kyle. I believe Gunther will probably be going for the world title next after this. That's what I see happening.
He would have done that anyway if Punk didn't come back. I fully believe that's what was going to happen.
Yeah.
True.
But I do want to say so what Steven was saying, what's gonna happen if we have a rematch. But here's the thing, that's what I really think gonna happen. You already know the next pay-per-view with Backlash. So I think that's gonna be one of the rematches that gonna come out of the out of WrestleMania. It is the rematch between Sami and Gunther. At this time, Gunther is just go. He not gonna go through Sami. I think Sami gonna end up winning this time by a roll up pin. He gonna be lucky this time instead of get the guy cocky.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
World title picture.
So true. I probably could see that too. So yeah, like looking at all this, like I said, I think it's still like the best match of the night, but there's still a lot of like I said, things to still kind of question about what's going on when it comes to like the story wise of the match too. But I still definitely enjoyed it.
Right quick. One more thing. My bad. Sorry about this. I want to get this off right quick. Before we start this segment, Steven, you thought you were gonna be the heel in this one. Soon as we start this one, I'm gonna take that spot. All right. I gotta have to take that spot. Go ahead and continue.
Hey, I might be right there with you, bro, depending on what you say. I don't know.
I have to heel turn.
Oh boy. But yeah, well, like now going on, I guess we're gonna move on to the main event because I know they did have Nick Aldis and Adam Pearce out there to tell the attendance and whatnot. And then, they still show more celebrities in the crowd. You got George Kittle there, Vanessa Hudgens, like I said earlier, like 2 Chainz and Wale and all them out there too. Because now we do move on into the main event of this show. And man, this was a very, very long match. I can say that. Entrances alone was damn near 20 minutes also. Because, I will say this too, and I don't even know if the WrestleMania ramp was that long, but I feel like given Roman's entrance takes on forever, I feel like I could just leave and go get something to eat and come back, and he's still walking out there. Because you got Cody Rhodes coming out there first, the whoa, song and all that. Everybody's singing along. Then you got Seth Rollins, who looks like a giant, I don't know, he had like a giant bow on his shoulder, or he looked like somebody say he looked like a cat toy. Okay, so I'm not gonna say he was a cross dresser this time because he didn't look like it this time, but I'm not sure what he really looked like this time. He just like a giant cat toy, I heard, for some reason. And then you got Rock's like super big entrance with the fire and the final boss engaged and the Brahma Bull and lightning everywhere and stuff, and like, he's just coming out to his old 3 theme, and he's got like that People's Championship belt because Muhammad Ali's wife gave it to him at the Hall of Fame, which that whole segment, I didn't know where that was going, honestly, when I saw that clip. And like I said, Rock is just also getting cheers too, which I feel like everybody in this match damn near got mixed reactions in a way. And you got Roman coming out there, Paul Heyman being in the Hall of Fame now. This main event went damn near 45 minutes.
Damn.
Okay, this was a 45-minute match, and Samantha. Go ahead.
I was just going to say, bro, I'm a damn fool because it was 10 o'clock, and I told you, I said, oh, the show might go off before 11. Like, there ain't no way this match about to go 40 minutes, and I'm a damn fool, bro.
But yeah, you got Samantha.
The championship. Why she would give it a championship introduction? That was no championship match. That was, championship introduction. Like, was it, why she would give it that for this match though? I was like,
it's a tag team match.
It's a tag team match. Like, there ain't no tag team championships on the line. We got 2 champions and another nigga who just came out with at first, before you said that about Muhammad Ali, Mama held that belt. I ain't know nothing about it, so I just wrote down in my notes, man, he comes out with an unnecessary belt. Like, what is this belt for?
I made my own belt, nigga.
Like,
I'm sorry.
It's like they just gave it to him at the Hall of Fame. Like, they inducted Muhammad Ali, and I forget, I don't even remember the whole speech now, but it's like they presented The Rock with a belt, and now he's got a People's Championship because Rock was a big fan of Ali and whatnot, and I don't even remember all the way, but it's like, yeah, he's got his own title belt now, and you got like damn near all the introductions was almost 20 minutes itself. Okay, that was already long, and then we get into the match. The Rock is in tremendous shape and whatnot. Because honestly, I feel like it started out kind of slow, and it kind of picked up once they, going outside the ring and stuff. Because, one thing I thought about this match was like, I feel like the crowd was so many mixed reactions. Because, you got people that like Cody, you got people that like The Rock, then you got some that like Roman, then they got Seth. It's almost like, I feel like the crowd didn't know what side to choose half the time. And just going through this whole match, they're fighting around the ring, they're fighting in the crowd, and then The Rock telling the referee, like, I'm not fucking around. You count, you get fired. So it's like, but by the way, this match was brought to you by American Shield Insurance. So that's another advertisement match. But they're just fighting around the ring, and they're just brawling everywhere, where it's like no countouts basically at this point. And one thing to point, like me and Steven talked about this during the match, like, you're going through this match, then you got low blows being involved where, hey, Roman has to get distracted, do a low blow, but The Rock can just hit a low blow in front of the referee's face, and nothing was going to happen and stuff. So when you think about this bloodline rule stuff, it's almost like either way. If The Rock, he's got all this power, he runs the company and stuff, even if Cody and Seth won this match right here, what's gonna stop The Rock coming out tomorrow night saying, you know what, this ain't Bloodline rules, this is Rock rules now. This is a no DQ match. This is a triple threat now for the WWE title. Like, he can just come out and do that because you just got all this going on. And, you know, I'm trying to remember like most of the big stuff throughout this match. But, you know, you got Rock going through a table, which I was actually kind of surprised to see him take a bump through the table with, you know, Cody doing like a rock bottom and stuff. And then Rock getting like the belt and, you know, taunting Cody Rhodes' mom, like, Mama Roots, Mama, this is your boy, right? Look at you now. Look at your boy. Look at your boy, man. Look at your boy, okay? Mama Roots. But, yeah, he's just
Is it
doing
Jamaican?
that.
Right.
He sounded like that on Monday. I ain't gonna lie. He kind of sounded like that when you kind of do the accent up in a way. Look at you now. Look at you now.
The devil is not welcome here. I'm sorry.
He might as well put that way.
There you go. And you know, just going through the whole match, it ended up with what? Because everybody started damn near doing finishers out there then. And then, you know, Roman setting up for the spear, and then, you know, Roman ended up accidentally hitting Rock, which watch that play into later in tonight when we get to night 2 and stuff. But, you know, we just still going through the match, and like I said, it's like more finishers and everything, and oh man, it's a lot to get through in this match. But it basically ended up with what? Cody and Seth was getting upper hand. You got curb stomps, you got the crossroads and stuff. But, you know, still both Rock and Roman kick out. But then, you know, Reigns ended up spearing Cody. And then, you know, Rock wanted the tag. Rock goes in with the rock bottom. He does the people's elbow. And that's the end of the match. And, you know, it's like, once again, kind of go back with Steven. We was talking about, you know, if the Rock wasn't in this match, and Roman was tagging with anybody else, it'd probably just be Roman just walking around, just talking throughout the whole match, saying, like, look what I did to this man. Look what I did to this man. So, you know, I kind of understand why this was 45 minutes, because this was the most build match out of this whole pay-per-view itself in general and stuff. So it was a lot to get through, but I'm not really surprised Rock and Roman won anyways, but it does kind of make you question, you know, what is the point of this tag match if Rock can just make rules on the fly like that? Was it to finally get Seth Rollins a main event at WrestleMania and have The Rock do something in the match and give him a win too? Hey, possibly. But obviously now you were going to get shenanigans either way for night 2. So expect the most overbooked match going into night 2 with 15, 20 different run-ins with I don't know how many people that's going to come out at this point. But expect that to happen. And you just got Cody sitting in the same position right there, like last year's WrestleMania, you know, looking to shovel while Rock and Roman are walking back and, you know, putting their ones up, and Heyman's holding up the title and everything. So, yeah, it's a lot to cover in this match. But, you know, one thing that is said about this whole match and this whole show in general, the crowd. I don't know if it's just the outside arena, because sometimes outside arena is hard to tell, you know, when you get that big of a reaction, given like you're in an outdoor field. Some people are blaming the cold out there because it was like, what, 50 something degrees, but it said it felt like 40. Because I just thought the crowd wasn't really it throughout a lot of this whole show in general. But
Yeah.
still, like this match itself, like I said, this was very long to get through, but I think we all know what team was going to win anyways throughout all of this. So what you got? Because that was a lot to cover.
I want to piggyback immediately off of what you said, because you have a couple of my points. I mean, because I know we talked about it, so obviously, you know, you already know some of my thoughts on it. But yeah, I got one big positive and 3 big negatives for this match. The positive is The Rock, bro. Because listen, the last time we saw The Rock really have a match, whatever about that Rowan stuff, but the last time we saw him really have a match was with John Cena.
Yeah.
Years and years and 10 years ago, right? And it was bad, bro. And it was mainly bad because he tore damn near every muscle in his body. So he just fought to get through it and all that. But then during this match, my man, he didn't miss a step, bro. I was very impressed. He's taking crazy bumps. Just like, I mean, he's obviously a little slower because he's older. That's just the way it is. But I mean, he's still bumping like The Rock, man. He's still throwing them hands like The Rock. He's still doing elbow drops. Man, when he hit that spine buster with that snap on it, I'm like, oh, he's still The Rock, bro. Like, he's still got it. anything positive I have to say about this match is because of him, bro. And I have to shout that out before I shit on this, because because it has to be said that he came out here looking like $1,000,000, moving like I really was hoping he could, and it was fantastic. But on the flip side, right, three major problems with this match. The first one, you said it yourself, the atmosphere of this match, bro. Like, all right, it was cool when it started and when it ended. Once you got to like the last 10 minutes or so, then it was like, oh, the fans are really into this. But there were long stretches, and this is a 40-something minute match. There are long stretches of this match where the crowd is just dead silent. And I'm like, bro, these are your four biggest stars here. This is the main event of WrestleMania. Why are y'all not making any noise? And I saw, like you saw, Bryce, on Twitter, people were saying, like, who were there? They're like, oh, it's cold. And I'm like, y'all ain't never been to a football game. It's snowing outside. You can see your breath. And we still lit for this? And then they say, well, it's because the arena's open. Okay, but there are times I can hear y'all, so it's not that. So, like, I think y'all just sitting on your hands, bro. And then the second thing is I cannot stand matches that are booked to go long. They're wrestled to go long, with it in mind to go long. There's a lot of, it's funny, Bryce, because when I texted you that, I was like, oh yeah, it's a good thing The Rock is in here, because if it were just Roman and some other person, like when he was tagging with Solo, it would have just been a lot of meandering around and just talking to the crowd for 30 minutes. And right after I texted you that, it was a lot of that. And I'm like, wow, that's crazy that this is how they want to book this match. Like, we're just we're just buying time, huh, to stretch this out until we get to that last 10 minutes, just like every Roman match, to where something actually exciting happens. And then the third thing is the most egregious thing that you said, Bryce. Is you built this whole story on we have to win this match to keep the bloodline and everybody out in night two. Okay, but The Rock can just do whatever he wants anyway. So this story, this match is rendered so useless, so pointless, because if I can just at any point, as The Rock said, you know what, fuck all that, I just want to do what I want anyway, then what are we even doing here? Why does it even matter that we're doing this match? He could have, you could have not done this match anyway. And then The Rock shows up tomorrow night and says, all right, everybody, just like Bryce says, he just comes out and says, it's bloodline rules. And you couldn't do anything about it because he's The Rock and he's on the board wherever. So I'm just sitting here through this 40-minute silent for most of it match, thinking to myself, why are we watching this? If he can do this anyway, why am I watching this? What is the point of this if at any point he can just be like, yeah, whatever, just screw the rules. This is what I want to happen. And then we just, it was such a, I'm not going to say it didn't hit, because just like every Roman match, once you get to the last 10 minutes, then it's like, oh yeah, now we're here. Now it's exciting. But for the majority of this match, I really was just sitting there like, why am I watching this if none of this matters? And if your main event of WrestleMania doesn't matter, then does anything matter, bro? So that's all I got to say, because that's it, bro.
I was mixed on it too. I ain't gonna hold you. It was like, for me, again, being a wrestling fan who don't always get a chance to watch every episode, there were a few things that I was kind of coming into it blind. So I was kind of going into it with like the mindset of, at least I know there's gonna be a lot of shit going on in this match, right? First thing that I must commend, I gotta say, like y'all said, The Rock was out there taking bumps. That damn table spot was crazy. Um, Also, the spot with the table spot and the spear spot happened at the same time was, to me, I love moments like that in a match where it's just like straight up chaos, just too much shit going on at once. I love shit like that. And that was a great moment. I also agree with what y'all said about what's the storyline to this and what's the point behind it, because The Rock could just come in at any point and just say, hey, fuck this. We're bringing in Solo, we're bringing in Jimmy. You can't do shit about it. I'm glad that they lost Cody Rhodes and Seth Rollins, because I truly feel like The Rock is doing all of this shit to get the bloodline from Roman. I think the real storyline behind this right now is the storyline of The Rock taking the bloodline from Roman, and Cody Rhodes telling Roman a month or so ago that I'm gonna take the bloodline away from you, and Cody not realizing what he asked for. So I feel like the true story behind this, and I hope that this is what happens tonight, is that, you know, Roman loses the championship, but he also loses the bloodline. Hopefully, it's a complete turn overall. So hopefully, when it's no like I'm assuming that The Rock wanted to win so that he could all for now just say fuck Roman. Hey, you guys are with me. You know who I am. I'm the dude who runs this shit. So you can go and play tribal chief with him if you want, but you know who the real chief is. And then they end up turning on Roman tonight, and now it's Roman versus Rock. Cody gets his belt, and we can move the fuck on.
Yeah, I this how I feel about the whole other thing. I just want to start from the beginning. The reason why I said, that talked about me being the heel thing was like the Rock wrestling tonight was the thing that got me on board with the Rock again. Like, yeah, throughout the whole build, I was with him, man. Man, it's just the sound you're feeling, man. You see somebody that you've been watching when you was a shorty, so it was like, man, the Rock is back. But like me and Bryce been talking about throughout the whole time. Like I would tell Bryce, like, man, I ain't feeling none of that stuff until he gets serious. Until he gets serious, every time that's when I started feeling it again. When he started doing that sing along, he was doing the sing along. I wasn't feeling it. I walked out the room when that was happening. Um, but he was like the whole Beth here, Mary thing, like, yeah, some of that stuff was hit to me, but it was like, I can't wait to see wrestle. And that's all I want to see now. And once I saw it, I was like, man, he didn't miss a beat. He actually got it. He actually slimmed down from when he first came back, because he looked at super jack when he first came back. When they did that Vegas thing a couple of months ago, like he looked at like Black Adam Jack. Like he didn't look like Adam Jack today. He looked at wrestling. Like I was in wrestling shape, and I'm in good wrestling shape. And so I was very surprised today. But the match though, boy, my goodness, man, I was just waiting. Like, all right, cool. I get to the part where somebody supposed to win, because we had a fight on the outside. I was like, all right, cool, that's good. But this seems like it's taking too long to get to the part where I need to get to. I didn't think they were going to win, though. I was the only one who didn't think they were going to win. I swear. I just thought that what y'all was just saying. I just thought that The Rock was just going to do whatever he was going to do, whatever he wanted to do tonight, even win or lose. So that's why I was like, all right, if they could win, all right, cool. Rock could still come in and be like, no, I changed this rule, I changed that rule. That's what I thought it was going to happen. Real talk.
Yeah, I can. That you make a good point right there, because I don't know, man. I just felt like I just knew Rock and Roman, they were just gonna win. Like I just had a feeling, but it's like either way, it's like, come on, what was gonna stop The Rock from making rules on the fly when you really think about it? Like, you know what I mean?
Oh
And
man, it
like,
just hit me. Oh, what are you gonna say?
no, like, one thing I guess also to kind of take away from it too, just looking at it, because looking at through this entire feud and leading into tonight, it's mostly felt more like Rock versus Cody than it has, Cody versus Roman for the actual title. Because, it's almost feel like we barely see Roman anyways half the time. It's almost like he's kind of there. Seth was always the odd man out of this whole thing that, you almost kind of forget he even has a title match later on tonight because he's been so focused in the whole bloodline shenanigans. Like, because like Drew's basically had to do the feud by itself, and CM Punk made it more interesting. Which honestly, I just feel like this is a cakewalk for Drew tonight, to be honest, unless Punk screws him over or screws both of them over, or maybe Damian Priest cashes in. I don't know. So that's one thing.
Should be, in case if Seth Rollins actually comes in selling anything that happened to him tonight, Drew should just dog walk this dude. Like no,
Last night,
like in
Steven,
storyline he should.
I would wish you on that. I said that last night to my cousin. See, I was like, man, well, this should be this a far gone conclusion. Man, Seth was got a banged up knee, and he went through a goddamn table. Did he? did he went through a table or something? I don't know. I forgot. But he went through
I
a
went
lot.
through a barricade.
Huh?
He went through a barricade.
Yeah, he got
You know
speared through the barricade. He got Roman speared through the barricade.
So, man, yeah, this should be a cakewalk. I mean,
Yeah, I said to Bryce, I'm like, dog, if he was wrestling like Finn Balor or somebody, he'd be in trouble. But he's wrestling a 6'6", 270 Drew McIntyre. Like, no, he should be getting murdered tonight.
Like
Nah,
literally.
I think Seth is losing tonight for sure.
Obviously, he's barely paid attention to this entire feud with Drew. I'm like, Drew's the only one that's been kind of like, hey, you need to focus on me instead of, over there. This is supposed to be Raw, right? It's supposed to be your show. Like, I don't care what they do on SmackDown. This is supposed to be the championship here, right? We're trying to get this title belt over. So, like there you go. So, like, this ought to, like I said, it ought to be just a cakewalk for Drew at this point. Because I already said it before, Drew, like, Seth was always the odd man. Cody thing. It's like they had to get him involved just because it's like, we talked about the title belt before. At the end of the day, I still say what I said before, like, Roman still has the actual title belt, and Seth, you still holding the consolation belt. Like, I've always thought that ever since they created this new world championship thing, instead of just separating the belts to begin with before.
There's nothing they can do about that until Roman's not champion. I mean, because nobody ever going to main event over Roman. So
True.
until the belt is off of Roman, now you can have a more balanced presentation of the world champions. Like if Cody wins tomorrow and Drew wins tomorrow, then depending on what feuds they got going on, either one can main event. But as Roman's champion, it's definitely the consolation belt.
True. And one thing also to add, going to later on tonight, because like I said, expect like 100 different shenanigans and run-ins in this main event, because expect the Bloodline to come out, expect probably Jey Uso to come out, or maybe Seth Rollins, or anybody else that the Bloodline has had beef with, like maybe Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn. People saying John Cena's gonna run out, Stone Cold's gonna run out, maybe Brandy will walk out there, Hogan will walk out there. It's gonna be like
Sting was
50.
gonna be out there.
You said who?
I heard Sting was gonna be out there.
Yeah, I was hearing Sting's gonna show up and do something. And then people were saying, Dustin Rhodes, which I kind of doubt that, given what I've seen, what they doing with him on AEW. I'm not gonna say it right now if anybody want to avoid spoilers, but I'm like, I don't think that's happening now with Dustin and stuff. So people were expecting him to show up and do a run in, or I don't know, maybe Cody's mom jumps the barricade or something. Like, she's gonna do it's gonna be like 100 different run-ins and stuff. But I will say this too, like, if Cody does not win the title this time, just like last year WrestleMania, I don't need Triple H coming back out there on the press conference. What did you say last year about, well, the story doesn't end, we just move on to a different chapter? Didn't he say some bullshit like that last year or something, and everybody kind of buried him for that? It's like,
I'm gonna tell you what, man. There's gonna be a lot of people tomorrow or tonight, I guess, when Cody wins, because he's gonna win. There's no way they've done this to make him lose.
you
But
gotta pull the
once
trigger.
it's over, all those people are going to say, "See, it was justified for him losing last year," and it is not, bro. He should have won last year. He shouldn't have lost. And just because they did all of this now does not change that fact.
fact. Change that fact.
And the only why, I might have to cut you off. The only why I feel like most of it has been interesting now is because of The Rock. So mostly because of The Rock. It's just The Rock. Like, Rock made all this interesting. Like,
Because
literally, that's it.
like, here's the thing though. It's like with that whole little storyline throughout the whole year last year, it was felt like it was just filler. Like, we have to throw all these little stupid obstacles in his way that we already threw obstacles in his way last year for the match. So why we need more obstacles now? He has to go against Rock 3 times. He has to go win the Royal Rumble again. Like, my goodness. It's like for real. I ain't never seen a person who has to go through so much. Daniel Bryan didn't even go through this much to win the damn title. Like for real. Like I don't know,
Oh, they had
man.
that man wrestling a singles match with Dom on pay-per-view, and people are talking about this is going to be justified now. I'm like, no, bro.
Oh,
Y'all wasted this man's career for a year when you should have just gave him the title.
It's like you gotta fight Judgment Day. You gotta fight them. Like then he wins the tag titles with Jey Uso at a point in time, and that's a thing. And it's just like, can we just get to like we all know where it's gonna lead to? But I sat there like everybody said, well, he's got to go through some hard times. Like if he just came in just like that and won the title last year, the people would have turned on him and whatnot. Shit, I see people turn on him right now to cheer the damn Rock half the time. Like I saw
Exactly,
that.
bro.
So it's like you can't like keep doing that. It's like you can't like strike lightning in a bottle twice. Like you got lucky in a way doing this that he's still over that people still love him and that just not write him off like, well, Roman be another guy, so let's move on to the next person. And then again, like even with the Roman stuff throughout the whole year, it's like, okay, we're gonna take time to do tribal warfare and civil war, bloodline, which I said it before back at SummerSlam. We could have did all this without the damn championship. Like I said that. It's not like Roman's ever on TV. Like how many times have even Roman defended the belt at this point? Like literally, I can't even count anymore. Like the last time he defended what was Royal Rumble. Before that, what SummerSlam? So
Which is exactly what we knew what was going to happen, bro.
yeah, we all said it. I said it last year when we did the podcast. Like we all said the exact same thing that he was not going to be on TV often, and he just going to be around just for a little while. Defend the title a handful of times, and that's exactly what he did.
Yeah.
like it's Saudi or something like that too. It's like, okay, we'll just save him for the bigger matches or like just the big pay-per-views. And like at this point, you gotta pull trigger. Everybody's tired of this bullshit ass title reign, which is just gone on like forever at this point. Cause it's like I was like, yo, y'all don't pull the trigger. I don't even really know what to say after this. Cause like I've already kind of been on whatever with Roman with his title reign after last year. I'm just like whatever at this point. I'm like, tell me when you lose it. Like let's just get to that. Cause it's like literally it's whatever. It's whatever.
Well, hopefully that's tonight.
Yeah, hopefully it's the night. So, like I said, expect a whole bunch of shenanigans and run-ins, and everybody's gonna do that. I like what somebody said. Sting shows up tonight. Tony Khan's gonna be punching the air. Watch that
Oh
happen.
my gosh,
That
my man's
happen.
making all the wrong moves, bro.
No, Sting ain't showing up. That would be crazy if he did, though.
Yeah.
Because when I heard Sting, I'm like, Sting? Like, I don't know about that. Like, because well, you have to understand. Oh, well, Sting fought Dusty Rhodes, or did he help Dusty Rhodes, or did he team with him, I think, or team with Dustin at some point? I don't even, it had to be in WCW or something like that. I don't even remember all the way. So, like, that's what people were kind of going on for that, or say, oh, well, remember when Sting when he debuted in AEW, and he told Cody, well, I'm not here for you, Cody. And now it's going to be like, well, now he's here for him. Yeah, after what, 3-4 years ago? So,
I'm not gonna reference that.
I like, no, that wouldn't make a lot of sense. So it's like this. It's just gonna be a lot of shenanigans and stuff. So there you go. But overall, what do y'all think about like the entire night one? Like, what would you grade this whole thing?
You mean numbers, letters, like out of 10, out of 5, with what?
I gave it 2.5 out of 5.
Damn. I was 3 out of 5.
That's basically half and half. That's basically middle. If we give it a grade, a letter grade, it would be a C.
Yeah, see, it sounds less crazy when you say C, but I feel like I share your sentiment, bro. Because even the stuff I liked, I still didn't like walk away without problems with it. So if you say C, I'll ride with C. 2.75, 6 out of 10, that kind of range.
Yeah, I go with a 3 out of 5. Honestly, throughout the whole show, it's like this. In my opinion, I think it started off pretty good. It was a good opener. The ladder match obviously was a cluster, but it was still good. It fell off when Rey and them went against Dominic and all that, and the Eagles showing up. And that's where I felt the show started to drag after that, and it didn't pick back up until the Intercontinental title match. And then the main event, the main event was the main event. It's a lot of positives and negatives to it, but it got us where it needed to get through towards tonight. But some kind of wonder, when it comes to just the whole build going into this, given Rock and them have the most build in general, yeah, because it's for the championship and all that. But looking at a lot of the other matches, people kind of question about the build, and I feel like we will have that also when we get to night 2 of this whole show too, about questionable
It's gonna
builds
be
and all
worse
that
on night
stuff.
2.
Oh yeah, especially Bailey and Io. That's a lot. There's gonna be a lot to say about that. But yeah, there's a lot of shit. There's a lot of matches that's probably gonna be said about that because I look at the card for night 2 because now it's 7 matches tonight if I'm not mistaken. The one I will say this right now, and I know it's gonna lead in tomorrow. The match I'm not about to give a fuck about. I don't care for is Lashley and them versus Cross and them. I do not care at all. I'm glad to see Lashley on the WrestleMania card. That's cool. I just wish it would have been something different because this feud ain't been it ever since it began. And I'm sure there's going to be a lot to say about that when we get to that. But the
And
night
see, that's
one,
where
go ahead.
I'm gonna end up landing on a. I'm gonna land on a 3 out of 5. But all the matches, with exception of Bailey and Io, all the matches that I was really looking forward to were on this show. And because the atmosphere was so dead in the arena, it never reached that WrestleMania feeling to me. And so if all the matches I was looking forward to were on this show, and I didn't really walk away from it feeling like I was amazed by anything, and then coming into this show tonight, now I'm kind of Lashley's match, AJ LA Knight, Logan Paul and them. I'm kind of I'm not coming into this one with the same vibes as I had on the one last night. But I guess we'll see. But yeah, it's kind of I don't know, bro. This one tonight's kind of I don't know.
Mm, um, Kyle, you got anything?
Uh, really, like the only match I'm not looking forward to is the only match that probably me and you said constantly we're not looking forward to. Is the Bobby Lashley cross match. Other than that, I think night 2 should be alright. Hopefully, it should be man. Um, got some of my favorite people wrestling right tonight, so I just hopefully it'll be a good night.
Yeah, I look at the night 2 card. Like I said, I do question a lot of some of the matches especially with the build going into it or and stuff. But it's I don't mind it. I like most of it what's gonna happen, but I'm not sure. Especially once again, the atmosphere, the crowd. I don't know really what to expect for night 2. Hell, I don't even know the degrees. Everybody wants to blame the cold. It looks like, but yeah, that crowd just really fell off throughout the show, and a lot of people and they got criticized for it, which I felt rightfully so. Some say, well, it's an open arena and all that, but well, WrestleMania's done a lot of open arenas. Okay, personally, I would
I heard what they say. Let go.
probably better, but I don't know, man. Philly was I'm not even sure. So like I said, night 1 for me, it's 3 out of 5. I was kind of good with the beginning, but that middle dragged, and then it kind of picked up a little bit more in the end. But it's me and Steve was saying, it's get to a means end. That's kind of where it was going. So that's my take on it. So we gonna see when we get to the night 2. One of the thing also because Gerard had to go get his food. That's why he's off right now. He gave the show a B. So that's what he just texted me. He gave it a B.
All right.
So we gonna see what happens. That's all I can really say about that. But ending off this show, comment, subscribe, follow me on Twitter at HoodedKnight890. Do you guys have anything to plug?
Yeah, absolutely. For once, because I normally don't. But yeah, now I got an album out, so y'all go check that out. You see how my name spelled Black Shaggy. You blackshaggy.bandcamp.com. You type that in. First Joint Dope 4. That's out now. Getting a lot of positive feedback on that, so I had to shout that out because nigga put his soul into that one. So yeah, go listen to that. It's free on Bandcamp, so why not?
Most definitely, we will check that out, boy. Most definitely.
Definitely, in facts. Gotta get a chance to listen to that one. I do want to listen to it. So yeah, definitely free. But yeah, we will be back tomorrow though for the night 2 review of WrestleMania. So we will definitely see how that goes. So other than that, out of here. See y'all then. See you tomorrow. Peace.